All right, welcome back to the Friday show. I'm Scott Jagow, along with Ray Paulick. We're glad to have you with us. Coming up, we'll be talking some Derby pedigrees. But first, Ray, it's just over a week away. The media crush is coming. They'll be looking for Derby storylines. Let's talk storylines. Give me one that intrigues you for this year.
Well, Ahmed Zayat has had 3 second-place finishes in the Kentucky Derby. 3. That's heartbreaking. He's got American Pharoah coming in this year as the favorite. Probably the best horse he's ever brought to the Derby. Will this be the year? You know, he said to me recently, I asked him, would you rather be lucky or good? And he said, are you kidding? I'd rather be lucky. He said it takes 99% talent and 1% luck to get into the Derby field. But to win it, he said, you need 99% luck and 1% talent. So will he be lucky? I know he's got the talent.
Yeah, that's a good line. One that the public might get behind is Bolo. A long shot, obviously, trained by Carla Gains, who would become the first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. There have been several over the years that have gotten close, most recently Kathy Ritvo with Mucho Macho Man finishing 3rd in 2011. So that could definitely be a storyline that people would pull for. Give me one more.
Well, Ken and Sarah Ramsey are from Eastern Kentucky. They've won races all around the world. They've won owners' titles. They've set records. They've won big races all over the country. They have yet to win the Kentucky Derby. You've seen Ken Ramsey look happy leading a horse into the winner's circle after big races at Keeneland or Saratoga. But you know that if International Star, who gives him a really good shot here this year, wins the Kentucky Derby, you are going to see the biggest smile on an owner you've ever seen when Ken Ramsey leads that horse into the winner's circle.
All right, one more, a what-if scenario. What if the foreign invader, Mutahij, wins the Kentucky Derby? There's a lot of buzz about this horse, and his trainer is renowned. But let's say the scenario plays out, and then he wins the Preakness, and he has a shot at the Triple Crown. I'm just wondering if the American public would back the horse the same way they backed California Chome, for example, last year.
Well, I think it's something we better get used to because they're breeding really good horses in Europe and in Japan, for example. But will this horse produce the same electricity if he goes for the Triple Crown as, say, a Ken Ramsey horse or American Pharoah or one of the other horses? I don't think so, no.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we'll see which storyline plays out, or it might not be any of those. Let's talk some pedigrees now.
But California Chome shines bright in the Kentucky Derby!
Well, last year, Ray, heading into the Kentucky Derby, there were a lot of questions about the pedigree of the favorite California Chome. Obviously, he won the race and proved a lot of people wrong, but the pedigree still was a little questionable or at least obscure, and a lot of years up and down the roster of the Derby, there are those questions about stamina. This year may not be the case. If you look at the favorites and even go deeper, there are some really nice pedigrees in there.
Yeah, some of the leading sires are represented in this year's Derby field, including Giant's Causeway, Lemon Drop Kid, Malibu Moon has multiple entries, and some of the good young sires, including Pioneer of the Nile, the sire of American Pharoah. You've got a Scat Daddy, a Street Sense. The horse I like based on pedigree, though, is Frosted. He's by Tapit. He's the #1 sire in America. He's got a strong female family led by the First Dam, who is a daughter of leading broodmare sire, deputy minister. This is a really good prospect, I think. He was a good 2-year-old. He's a Grade 1 winner at 3. If he wins the Kentucky Derby, I think he'll really have a good chance to be a leading stallion in the future.
Well, but if you look at the recent record, last couple of decades of the Kentucky Derby, it hasn't been a great producer of top sires. You got to look more toward the Belmont or the Travers to see the great sires of the last 20 years. As a stallion-making race, Kentucky Derby hasn't been that great.
Oh, you're right. The recent winners, including Street Sense, has gotten off to a decent start. Super Saver has gotten off to a really good start. But before that, there were a lot of winners that admittedly were failures as stallions. I think this year, given the quality of the pedigrees of the leading contenders, we could see a change in that.
Well, it might all go back to what Zayat said, 99% luck, 1% talent in the Derby. All right, that's it for this edition of the Friday Show. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week from Churchill Downs.